morning.
Draw a chair, but forget it's a chair. This is an exercise in observation. If you really want to depict a chair, you want to forget that it's a chair and only look from a set perspective of what you see. The negative space, the positive space, the texture, the material, the composition. This way, you're removing what you understand and only looking at what you see and transferring that onto paper. You'll need to choose your medium. You'll have to trust yourself. You'll have to choose your position. It doesn't have to be a chair. It can be anything. If Christine was drawing this box, it would be a much different drawing than if Alfie was drawing the box. Different perspective. An excellent exercise in observation. Remove how you understand the box, just draw what you see. The title of the speech, The Journey of a Drawing. This is a specific drawing I'm going to share with you. It's not a drawing of a chair, and it's not a drawing of a box. However, the entire project begins with the idea of observing. It's a practice and observation. That is the objective from the drawing's beginning. That's how the journey begins. I would like to direct you now to the handout that I gave you. Look like this. This is the drawing. Can you tell what it is?
No.
Can you tell which direction it goes? What's happening with this thing? This is actually a copy that represents a piece of the actual drawing. The actual drawing, the original medium, is charcoal on paper. The tools used are charcoal pieces and compressed charcoal, very earthy organic materials, on paper. And this is one of 36 pieces in the drawing. It's a 6x6 piece, 6 by 6 inches. And the entire project put together is 36 by 36 inches. And you might imagine that charcoal on paper is a bit delicate and not an easy thing to move around. And so I brought a piece of a copy. I also brought the original drawing, or the full life-size drawing in copy for you to see, but I'm not going to show you just yet. First, I'm going to tell you about the process, because that is a big part of the journey this drawing took. And I am personifying the drawing just a bit, and that will tell you a little bit about me as an artist. I have a relationship with the artwork that I do. However, when I began this project, and it was many years ago, probably around 10 years ago, when I began this project, I only did it for the exercise. I wanted to get better at observing. I want to draw what I see, forget what it is. And so I took a 6 by 6 inch image, chosen carefully. I wanted it to have a lot of contrast, a lot of different value, so I could create texture and depth on a two-dimensional paper. I took a 6 by 6 inch image. I chose it for how it spoke to me. Strength, compassion. I was going through a lot of family stuff at that time, and I wanted to be engaged with something that was important to me, even though it was simply an exercise. This is the thing about me. I choose everything carefully. It has to have meaning. I choose my underwear every morning with purpose. Like, is it going to be green today? That's the way I am. So even though this was only meant to be an exercise, I chose my image carefully. I took that 6 by 6 inch copied image in black and white, and I divided it into 36 1-inch by 1-inch squares. I took a bigger, softer piece of paper and cut that into 6-inch by 6-inch squares, 36 of them. I didn't cut them, I actually tore them because I felt like that was more of an organic feeling that went with my organic materials. My subject matter, I wanted to forget what it was. And so I took those squares, I mixed them up, I put them in an envelope, and took out one by one and drew that one square, like this. I didn't know which orientation it was. I didn't know which direction when I was drawing the square. It removed my understanding of that subject matter so that I could simply depict what I was seeing. It's a lot of work. Probably 20 minutes for this square. Now imagine that times 30, 36. Lots of hours. But it was like reading a good book where you just, everywhere you go, you're like, I'm at the park and my daughter and my husband are playing basketball and I can't let it go, right? Because I'm in it, I'm involved. It's the beauty of this kind of project, is why I like to draw. I lose myself in it. It's like a meditation. I get into a flow state. Thoughts kind of move in, they move out. I have to trust myself to take what I see on a tiny square and scale it up and to do the best I can to represent what's there. The true test is don't look at any of the other squares through the whole project. And at the end, reassemble it and see how well you did it. A little bit scary. Very tempting. Very tempting to get in there and look. But I didn't do that. I stayed committed to the project, to the objective, and learned a lot about myself along the way. Would you like to see the art?
Yes.
Are you dying to see it?
Yes.
Oh, let me show you. Spoke to me. The compassion in his eyes. The many different values that are happening here really lended to the success of the project. Now, remember I told you that I tore the squares rather than cut them. I could have done that precisely. I know how to do things very precisely. I'm a graphic designer. There's all this vector stuff happening. Well, you can see that I didn't do that perfectly. And guess what? I love that about this piece. It's my favorite thing about this piece. Like I said, it was around 10 years ago that I did this. It took me 10 hours to do. It hangs in my living room. Oops. Mostly because my husband's my biggest fan and he puts my artwork up. It's like a little gallery in there. And I look at this lion and I remember that there's beauty in imperfection. The journey of this drawing has so many profound personal lessons for me. And that's why I wanted to share it with you. Also, I felt like it was appropriate. We're coming to the lion's den. Over here. draw a chair. Forget that it's a chair. And if you are not the one who feels like, I'm not going to draw, perhaps use that as a metaphor for something that matters to you in life. So it matters, we practice so that we can get even better. Thank you.